you have these kids being blindfolded in these tests as well, trying to move things.
It's full on Stranger
Trying to see patterns. It is definitely Stranger Things type, like conspiracy. But this is all real. It's all actually happened, and they don't know why. Some people have really negative experiences with it.
Speaking of the CIA controlling our minds, don't you have a little story to tell?
So have you ever heard of the GATE program? The GATE program?
No.
Okay. All right. The Gifted and Talented Education?
No.
Okay. Got it. All right. So it's a program that was started way long ago, back in the 80s. All right.
That is long ago.
Not way, right down the corner. But the thing is, it was this program that was being funded, and it was put into schools. And basically, schools would recognize and pick out certain kids. It seemed kind of random. Maybe it was kind of like an IQ thing, possibly, but they would pull these kids out of rooms, and they would just do certain testing and reading and stuff like that. And it just, like made a lot of kids feel special. Some kids felt, like
not so special.
Yeah, not so special because they weren't in the Gifted and Talented program. I just learned about it last week, so I'm pretty ticked that I was never involved. But it's just kind of a cool system, right? The thing is, the problem with this program is that the origins of it, they are funded and created by the CIA.
Oh, I think you say Bill Gates because gated.
You gotta forgive him, Lil. You gotta move on past Bill Gates. Okay,
move on.
Not everything bad in this world is because of him. Most of them are, but not all of them. The rest are CIA. But the CIA is literally funded.
Wow.
This program, and it makes you wonder, like, why would they do that? But the thing is, in 1974, they had to nix MKUltra. They had to nix it because things came out, a lot of bad stuff was happening. It could not be out in the open anymore. And so you think, why would the CIA create a program and bring kids into a room and test them? And the thing is, that's really strange all about it, is that the more that people talk about this program, more kids who knew that they were in the GATE program are realizing and remembering things that they completely forgot about. Things that, like, oh my gosh, I do remember seeing these patterns being shown to me and these certain questions being asked.
And playing frequencies in headphones.
They would have audio tests, and it would be you just describe the sounds that you're hearing and everything like that.
It could be ideology, though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like, whatever. Like, who knows what they've been doing? And there's a lot of comparisons in these people over time that they've gone down, and that people have surveyed and people looked, and just basically common physical characteristics.
Okay.
Physical stuff is blue eyes, forehead scars, which is very common, and the I don't know how to pronounce it. Occipital, occipital bun, the math bump, right on the back of your head. There's this bump sometimes. Some people have it, some people don't, but a large majority of the people that were in this GATE program had that thing, and it has something to do with just a different type of area in your brain where people apparently possess just different types of
do you
gifts
guys
and traits.
Who was
not
around?
have bumps?
Okay, don't rub it in your face.
Who was going
No, I
around
think I have
feeling everybody's heads?
That's the thing. Who knows how they pick these people out, right? No. Psychological characteristics, high IQ, some like up to like 140. Memory loss.
Oh, no.
Some people have had, no joke, like a lot of people have had near-death experiences, specifically drowning.
What?
Which is super strange.
That's weird.
But there's just so many different things that that have just like, it's a wide net almost, but it's very specific. And they would sit these kids down and they would test them with questions that wouldn't make sense. Like one question, this one guy's like, this is what kind of, I remember hearing the question and thinking this is strange. One question was just, how many hairs are there?
What?
They couldn't prompt them. They couldn't do anything. They would bring these kids into a windowless room. Every single time, it had to be a windowless room. They would have audio tests. They would ask them very, very strange questions that you wouldn't understand, like the reason behind it. Like, if you're losing a football game, what do you say to your team to motivate them? Like, and there's right and wrong answers and stuff. And some people just had really weird trips as well. They would take field trips with the GATE program
No.
outside of the school. In one instance, they took literally kids into a museum, into a room where there was a mummy.
What?
And they had them stay overnight with no parental supervision.
What?
Where are their parents?
I don't know. But you think about it. When you hear your kid comes home with a paperwork that says, like your kid's gifted and talented and we really want to, pull him out of class for long periods of time during the school year to learn these things, you're like, oh yeah, let's go. Why not? Give my kid a great chance to go. But it's just, there's different things that are happening. A lot of people are having memories come back. And over time, as they get older, people have realized that also they're not getting in trouble with the police as much. They're getting a bit of leniency when it comes to police stops, interrogations, or anything like that. When they find out you're a gate kid in the gate program, there's leniency toward your way.
Pause.
Yeah.
It follows you into adulthood?
That's the thing. People don't know why they did it because it's no longer around, technically, that specific program. But it makes you wonder.
Like conformity correlation. Like kids who went through that program, let's just say they're brainwashed into something, like they follow certain like communication guidelines or something like that. It gets them out of different scenarios.
But you have these kids being blindfolded in these tests as well, trying to move things.
It's full on Stranger
Trying
Things.
to see patterns. It is definitely Stranger Things type, a conspiracy. But this is all real. It's all actually happened, and they don't know why. Some people have really negative experiences with it. And I learned most of this from the podcast Theories of the Third Kind. They're great. They have a lot of stuff out there too. You should check them out. But my buddy Trent Roseman shared me this podcast and kind of is like, you guys got to talk about this. But it's a fascinating thing because there's so much conspiracy around it. And a lot of people think that they're trying to get into the extra sensory, whatever that's called.
Okay. How are you answering the question, how many hairs are there?
More than one.
That's actually, they're like, get this kid up here.
This kid, he's our next president.
What
oh my
is
gosh.
hair?
Dude.
But you think about the scars. You think about the bump. You think about all these things. What's the conspiracy there? Are they trying to study certain people? Are they trying to keep an eye on certain kids?
It does sound like an experiment with a certain type of individual.
Yeah.